Detoxification. By Lawrence Wilson, MD. Copyright March 2013, The Center for Development. This article is adapted from Chapter 5 of the textbook, Nutritional Balancing and Hair Mineral Analysis, 4th edition, 2010. Definition. Detoxification is the removal of waste matter or toxins from the body. It is one of the most critical of the body's natural functions. It goes on 24 hours a day, rain or shine, and we soon die if anything goes wrong with this function. This article is introduction to the large topic of detoxification, how it is done well, how it affects health and more. Definition of toxins. Toxins refer to anything that does not belong in the body. They may be naturally occurring or man-made. They may come from outside the body, environmental toxins, or may be generated within, autointoxicants. They may include vital substances that are simply present in excessive amounts, or forms of vital minerals, for example, that have become altered in such a way that they are now poisonous. Even too much water can become a poison in the body. This underscores the importance of balance in our bodies between many substances and conditions. Types of toxins. Toxins can be virtually any substance, such as chemicals, metals, living things such as bacteria or worms, or energies such as cold or heat, stray electromagnetic fields, or what are called mental or emotional toxins. Toxins can also be very subtle energies that are sometimes called etheric toxins. Toxic metals and toxic chemicals are discussed in separate articles, so I will not repeat the information here. Biological toxins such as bacteria, fungi, viruses, and parasites are also well understood, so I will not discuss them again here. Autointoxication. Many toxins are produced inside the body. They are generally ignored by the medical profession, but are among the most important. For example, indole, skatole, and cadaverine products of the putrefaction of proteins. Alcohol, acetaldehyde and other toxins are produced by the fermentation of sugars by yeast organisms such as Candida albicans. Both are common sources of liver toxicity. A foul-smelling stool should make one wonder what toxins are being produced in the intestines. Another critical group of toxins produced inside the body are called endotoxins and exotoxins made by bacteria, fungi, viruses and parasites living inside the body. These may give few or even no symptoms while they slowly poison the bloodstream. Cancers also produce endotoxins that circulate throughout the body, regardless of the primary tumor site. Carbon dioxide, lactic acid and other chemicals are also quite toxic and are produced within the body. Toxins produced when healing occurs. Deep healing programs often produce some toxins when dead and diseased tissue is broken down by phagocytes, lysozymes and other natural methods of tissue destruction. These toxins must be eliminated quickly or healing reactions occur as the poisons accumulate in the tissues. This is an important reason for using extra detoxification procedures, at times, such as sauna therapy, coffee enemas or colonic irrigation. Mental and emotional toxins. Harmful beliefs and negative attitudes and emotions can be as deadly as any virus or bacteria. Harmful beliefs include selfishness, negativity, fixations, hatred for anyone or anything, and even excessive seriousness. Toxic emotions include uncontrolled anger, lust, greed, resentment, anxiety, and severe depression. Etheric toxins. These are very subtle, very fine, high-frequency energies that are finer than electromagnetic radiations and therefore hard to detect. They mainly come off the energy centers of the bodies, also called the chakras. While some are very beneficial, others are decidedly harmful. They play an important role in human relationships, marriages and sexual relationships and can make a lot of difference as to whether one is happy or not in a male-female relationship, in particular. Etheric toxins are also generated by certain energy weapons that, when directed to a person, can make a person ill or even kill a person at a distance. This topic is explored more in the article entitled Psychotronics on this website. What parts of the body are mainly involved in detoxification? The entire body is deeply involved. It is not enough to enhance the so-called eliminative organs such as the large intestine, liver, kidneys, lungs and skin. Each cell must continuously eliminate toxins in order to function properly. This depends on the condition of the cell membrane, the mitochondria and most cell structures. The circulatory and lymphatic systems play indispensable roles to carry away cellular wastes. Glands such as the thyroid, adrenals, testes and ovaries must also function well as regulators of the eliminative organs. The autonomic nervous system also plays a critical role. The parasympathetic nervous system enhances the activity of the eliminative organs. In contrast, all sympathetic nervous system activity, which is often very exaggerated today, diminishes the activity of the eliminative organs. Stages of detoxification. Detoxification is actually a set of processes, and this is very important to recall to avoid problems and to handle problems that arise during nutritional balancing programs and some other detoxification regimens. Here are the stages I am referring to. 1. Mobilization of toxins from the body tissues. Toxins are stored or sequestered in various organs, tissues and other locations. They must each be dislodged or mobilized out of storage for detoxification to occur. The toxins are moved from the tissue storage sites into the blood or the lymph circulation. Methods that can help with this stage are improving circulation, hydration, oxygenation, sauna therapy, great for circulation, some exercise if not excessive, massage, rebounding, weight loss and perhaps other methods. 2. Detoxification of the blood and lymph. This stage always involves the liver, which has dozens of methods of detoxifying, altering and breaking down various types of toxins. It may also involve the kidneys. It could just involve the small intestines if toxins are sent to the Peyer's patches, for example, from which they can enter the small intestine directly and can bypass the liver entirely. Methods that are most helpful for this stage of detoxification include coffee enemas, diet, herbs such as milk thistle and dandelion, massage of the liver, proper methylation and the use of TMG or trimethylglycine in some cases, distilled water, at times sulfur-bearing amino acids, and perhaps other methods such as flexology and chiropractic to help maintain the liver. 3. Toxin excretion after methylation or other changes the toxins undergo in the liver. Some of these toxins now pass into the bile and must be eliminated in the feces. Other toxins are once again returned to the blood and must be eliminated by the kidneys. A few are changed into a gaseous form and are eliminated by the bowel or lungs. Methods that are most helpful for this stage of detoxification may include some distilled water if the toxin load is very high, the Renamide product, kidney glandular with herbs for the kidneys, and bowel cleansing or enemas to keep the bowels clean and open. Methods such as balancing the body chemistry through the diet, supplements and other procedures help all three of these phases of detoxification. Toxins as a cause of disease. The concept that toxic substances cause disease is very ancient. It is mentioned in Greek and Roman medical texts, and even older writings as well. Ancient Chinese medical books speak of harmful qi and contain other references to toxins that cause illness. Herbal medicine and natural healing methods have emphasized toxin removal for thousands of years. Baths, enemas, poultices, emetics, laxatives, purgatives, skin brushing, cleansing diets, sweating and other methods for eliminating poisons are integral parts of these sciences. Conventional or allopathic medical care emphasizes biological toxins such as bacteria and viruses as causes of disease. However, they overlook and often deride the broader concept of toxins and their role in all illness. In fact, many of their remedies and procedures, including most drugs and surgery, are toxic themselves and can easily contribute to ill health for this reason. Detoxification programs or cleanses. Understanding that toxins cause disease leads many people to undertake various detoxification regimens to heal themselves. While helpful in theory, I find this harmful in too many cases. Most of these programs or cleanses, as they are sometimes called, involve deficient and unbalanced diets such as vegetarian diets or raw food regimens, or they involve fasting, which I find is also dangerous today because the bodies are so deficient already. Some detoxification programs also use toxic methods such as the ionic foot baths, clay baths if done often, too many water baths, which is very in, and the use of herbs that are somewhat toxic. Some methods involve chelators, which are also somewhat toxic and which always deplete some vital minerals along with the toxic metals. For more on this, read chelation therapy, cleansers and fasting, and detoxification protocols on this site. Most of these regimens are not that effective, and often they are dangerous. They can easily throw the body further out of balance and deplete it nutritionally. Please beware of these problems today. In contrast, a properly designed nutritional balancing program will remove all of the toxic metals, thousands of toxic chemicals or biological toxins eventually, and much more. It will do this faster than any other method I am aware of, in a gentler, safer way than other methods. For this reason, I do not recommend any cleansing diets or detoxification regimens, as a general rule. While perhaps helpful in the short term, I find they are rarely needed and usually harmful. Toxin removal is not enough. The idea that toxins cause disease is a critical one. However, I find it must be combined with other concepts of disease or a person will be misled. For example, low adaptive energy causes disease and is probably even more important at times. Without enough adaptive energy one cannot eliminate the toxins. An unbalanced body chemistry also causes disease and death in all cases. Unless the body is balanced properly, once again it is impossible to remove toxins properly and adequately. The balance of the body chemistry is complex and involves mineral levels at the cellular level, yin and yang, mineral ratios and more. Nutritional balancing is one of the few modern biochemical sciences that addresses this balance in a delicate and precise way. So while the idea that toxins cause disease is an important one, it is not sufficient of itself to understanding how our bodies work, in my experience. The so-called organs of detoxification. While every cell must remove waste products, certain organs are dedicated to this task more than others. These are the kidneys and large intestine or colon, and to some degree the liver, the lungs and the skin. Recall, however, that in reality every cell of the body and every organ and gland is involved in detoxification. Detoxification procedures used with nutritional balancing programs. Reasons why special detoxification procedures are very helpful today include: the eliminative organs function poorly in many people, even in children, due to dietary imbalances, stress, poor health and other reasons. The colon, the most important eliminative organ, is often the one in the poorest condition. Excessive sympathetic nervous system activity inhibits detoxification in many people. Most people's skin is very toxic and congested, thanks to bathing in fluoride and chlorine, the use of toxic soaps and skin lotions, and even from wearing heavy or synthetic clothing. Coffee enemas and near-infrared saunas, in particular, have many subtle and fabulous benefits such as improving liver function, circulation, hydration and oxygenation of the body. Less safe detoxification methods to be avoided. These include ionic foot baths, most clay baths due to aluminum toxicity, repeated liver flushes with nothing else, fasting for more than a few days, most juice cleansers and cleansing diets, and long sessions in traditional saunas or sweat lodges unless they are supervised very carefully and medically. Detoxification with nutritional balancing science. One of the key advantages of nutritional balancing is its ability to safely, comfortably, inexpensively and often quite easily eliminate many toxic metals, toxic chemicals, radioactive particles and biological toxins. In addition, mental and emotional toxins are slowly brought up to the surface of the mind for processing and elimination as well. Over a dozen methods are used in a coordinated fashion at the same time to detoxify the body. These include 1. Reduce many toxic exposures. This is done via a healthful diet, proper drinking water and a healthful lifestyle. Chapters 2, 3 and 4 discuss basic ways to do this. 2. Increase adaptive energy. This comes from balancing the oxidation rate and the major mineral levels and ratios. It makes far more energy available for detoxification and healing, and is a key difference between nutritional balancing and symptomatic approaches to detoxification. 3. Increase rest and sleep. This is also critical for maximum detoxification. 4. Remove the need for physical and emotional compensations. Many toxins act as compensatory mechanisms. For example, the three amigos, iron, manganese and aluminum, all in bioavailable form, appear to boost adrenal and perhaps thyroid activity in most slow oxidizers. Removing the need for these compensations is what appears to allow the toxic metals and some chemicals to be removed so easily and quickly. It also helps prevent them from reaccumulating, which can happen with other methods. 5. Balance the qualities of yin and yang. Balancing these subtle qualities strengthens the body and increases the available adaptive energy. This is discussed later in this chapter. 6. Balance the autonomic nervous system. Detoxification is primarily a parasympathetic activity. It involves the parasympathetic organs such as the liver, kidneys and intestines. Any therapy that promotes parasympathetic activity or inhibits sympathetic activity will assist detoxification greatly. These include enemas and colonic irrigation, glandular extracts from the pancreas, liver, kidney, thymus and others, meditation and relaxation therapies, and psychotherapeutic techniques that promote relaxation. A healthful diet free of stimulants such as excitotoxins like MSG and aspartame. Supplemental calcium, magnesium, zinc, choline, inositol, and sulfur-bearing amino acids can help relax the sympathetic nervous system. Removing toxic material from the body that irritates the central nervous system is very helpful. For example, iron, manganese, aluminum, copper and other metals, when in oxide forms, appear to act as oxidants and irritants that keep the body in a sympathetic state. Sauna therapy, especially when done upon awakening in the morning or just before bedtime. Anti-anxiety herbs and other remedies may also be helpful unless they have toxic side effects. 7. Reduce harmful stress of all kinds. Stress interferes with detoxification for several reasons. 1. The body must use up a lot of energy adapting to stress. 2. Stress of any kind activates the sympathetic nervous system, which impairs detoxification. And 3. Stress depletes many vital nutrients such as zinc and magnesium needed for detoxification. And 4. Stress weakens the body greatly, making detoxification much more difficult. 8. Replace less preferred minerals with more preferred minerals. This is an aspect of restoring the body's enzyme systems. In order for detoxification to proceed rapidly and safely, one must replace the less preferred or toxic minerals in millions of enzymes with the more preferred vital nutrient elements such as selenium, chromium, zinc, magnesium and others. 9. Support the eliminative organs. Nutritional balancing makes use of at least a dozen methods to improve their functioning. These range from improving the diet, drinking the right water and resting more to colon cleansing, saunas and other detoxification procedures. 10. Increase the body temperature to help normalize enzyme activity. Many adults have a low body temperature due to fatigue, illness or decreased thyroid or adrenal activity. Increasing the oxidation rate and the sauna's heat and infrared rays help normalize this. 11. Deep cleansing of the liver and large intestine with coffee enemas and/or colon hydrotherapy. 12. The use of antagonists. These are specific nutrients or compounds that oppose or compete with toxic substances. They may compete with toxic metals for absorption, for example. Some antagonists replace the less preferred minerals in enzyme binding sites. Still others grab on and dislodge toxic metals from their storage sites in the body. These are called chelators, a special type of antagonists. Another type somehow are able to escort toxic metals out of the body or in other ways facilitate their removal. For example, calcium, zinc and selenium are cadmium antagonists. Zinc, manganese, vitamin B6 and sulfur, among others, antagonize copper. Administering extra choline may help reduce the effects of pesticides that are cholinesterase inhibitors. Antibiotics and antitoxins may be considered antagonists for bacteria or other toxins. For infections, however, nutritional balancing uses safer and often more effective agents such as colloidal silver and B. propolis. 13. Clearing emotional and mental toxins. In some patients, emotional blocks and traumas will stop detoxification as badly or worse than will constipation. Methods that can help release them that are part of nutritional balancing programs include reducing the physical toxin level, enhancing overall vitality, improving memory and cognition, and what I call personality integration. In addition, counseling, meditation, relaxation methods, biofeedback, hypnotherapy, deprogramming and other methods may help as well. 14. The right type and amount of drinking water. Distilled water is often called hungry water. This means it contains very few minerals. As a result, it holds and helps remove from the body many minerals and other toxic substances. This can be used to assist detoxification, though it is not for long-term use as it will eventually remove too many vital minerals as well. 15. Uncovering layers of toxins. Many toxins are buried deeply within body organs. Nutritional balancing slowly brings up the layers to be uncovered over a period of several years or more. I know of no other method that can uncover and remove these deeper layers of toxicity. The allopathic concept of identifying a single toxic metal as the cause for a symptom is only partially effective in my experience. In fact, everyone has most toxic metals in their bodies. In addition, they are layered and often the deeper deposits will not be revealed on any tests, even hair tests, until they begin to be uncovered. 16. Eliminate many chronic infections. Infections produce powerful toxins and they use up the body's vitality fighting them. Eliminating infections thus frees up a lot of adaptive energy for detoxification. Methods used to eliminate them include heating the body with saunas or hot baths. This is a simple form of fever therapy. Balancing the body chemistry to enhance adaptive energy. Removing toxic metals and replenishing missing vital nutrients. Coffee enemas and colon cleansing are also very helpful to restore liver function. Improving the sodium/potassium ratio, in particular, along with other mineral imbalances. Improving circulation, oxygenation and hydration. Healing emotional traumas and other issues that weaken the immune response. Asterisk at times using specific antimicrobial agents such as colloidal silver, B propolis, extra vitamin C and or rarely others. 17. Parasite cleansing. Some people have intestinal parasites that can produce toxic substances in the intestines, and they interfere with proper digestion and absorption of nutrients. These are slowly eliminated on nutritional balancing programs. Only rarely is specific therapy for them required. Methods used to eliminate them with nutritional balancing are GB3. Pancreatic and liver enzymes in GB3 digest many of them and weaken them as well. Daily use of a near-infrared sauna can be very helpful to stimulate circulation and raise the body temperature. This weakens some parasites. Coffee enemas and other colon cleansing can dislodge many parasites. Increasing the vitality of the body by balancing the oxidation rate and replenishing many minerals and vitamins helps greatly to make the body less hospitable to all parasitic organisms. Herbal remedies may be helpful, but usually are not needed and will not work very well if the vitality is low or if there is too much debris for parasites to feed on in the intestines. 18. Other therapies when needed. Nutritional balancing is not intended as a complete healing system, and I do not know of any such system. All healing arts have their place. Methods such as bodywork, chiropractic, massage, and others may all assist detoxification at times. At times, a person may require a medical drug for sleep or something else until the body can heal enough that it is not needed. However, the toxicity of drugs, surgery and other medical methods make them unsuitable unless all of the more natural and less toxic methods have been exhausted and are not sufficient. 19. Reuse of natural chelating agents. Chelators are a specific group of antagonist substances. Dr. Eck found that the use of EDTA, DMPS, DMSA and other synthetic chelators reduce the sodium/potassium ratio, a sign of lowered vitality and an important reason to avoid them. He advised against the use of these agents for this reason. I have also found this to be true. Other problems with all chelators, both natural and synthetic ones, include removal of some vital minerals along with the toxic ones. This causes mineral deficiencies. Unbalancing body chemistry. Chelation is not that discriminating, so it tends to upset the delicate balance of the body's minerals. Just loading the person afterwards with vital minerals and vitamins will not restore the balance. In fact, replacement of these important elements can be time-consuming and difficult. Asymptomatic approach. Chelation is a shotgun or symptomatic approach to toxic metal removal. This may be helpful in acute poisoning cases, but it is used for far more than this. It is not necessarily bad, but it is not gentle or discriminating. Redepositing metals in vital organs. Synthetic and natural chelators can dislodge toxic metals from safe storage sites and a few may then redeposit in more vital areas such as the brain. This can cause some clients to become even more ill. Renal toxicity. Chelation drugs may be hard on the kidneys, which must bear the burden of eliminating the chelated metals and the drugs themselves. Forcing metals out of the body in an unnatural order. This is a subtle, but important problem with chelation. The body has its own order of detoxification and healing. Nutritional balancing honors that order and sequence. This may be less rapid, but tends to be the much safer and allows healing at much deeper levels as well. Accumulation problems. Because the body's natural order is not respected with chelation, toxic metals often accumulate. This necessitates repeated chelation therapy and negates some of its benefits. Inability to penetrate to the deepest levels. Most chelators act mainly at the level of the blood and surrounding tissues. They do not penetrate as well into the brain, in some cases, or into deeper tissue layers. Nutritional balancing uses a different and gentler approach, as described above, that can and does penetrate into the cells at much deeper levels. In chelators, both synthetic and natural, are quite thin, which subtly unbalances the body. Cost. Intravenous chelation is much less costly, much safer and more effective than bypass surgery. However, it is considerably more costly than nutritional balancing, especially considering that the latter does much more than simply remove toxic metals. Most important, chelation is simply not needed most of the time. The only exceptions Dr. Ick employed are vitamin C up to about 1000 mg daily, sulfur-bearing amino acids found in taurine, garlic and black radish. I have never recommended cilantro extracts, chlorella, bugleweed, yellow dock, isolated alginates or drugs such as penicillamine, deferoxamine, EDTA, DMPS or DMSA, either orally, IV, topically or through rectal suppositories. Possible uses of chelating agents in nutritional balancing science. Intravenous or other chelators may have a place with some advanced cases of multiple sclerosis, lupus, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis and possibly other degenerative conditions that often have to do with metal toxicity. As these conditions advance and worsen, a client's vitality may become so low that he cannot respond to a nutritional balancing protocol. By using chelation for a while until a person is in better condition, one might save a life. More research is needed on this topic. Other detoxification topics. We live in the century of toxicity. While toxic metals have always been around, as have biological toxins such as bacteria and viruses, the latter half of the 20th century and the 21st century on planet Earth have seen an increase in toxic metals and toxic chemicals in the food, air and water that is unprecedented. The levels of toxic metals, thanks to industrialization, are 1,000 times higher than in any previous century in many areas. In addition, over 10,000 toxic chemicals have found their way into our air, water and food supplies. We also contact them through our skin on a daily basis. For this reason, the topic of detoxification is far more important today than it was 100 years ago, for example, when so-called modern medicine was established. While bacteria and viruses are still very important, conventional medical care is far behind nutritional balancing and other healing modalities that recognize and regularly deal with the 21st century problem of metal and chemical toxicity. The lack of attention to these problems by allopathic doctors and public health authorities is one of the main reasons for the high cost and lack of effectiveness of conventional medical care today all over the world. All toxins can remain in the body for decades. This is the truth, although most people do not realize it, or they would be much more careful with medical drugs, toxic chemicals and everything else they touch or ingest. Toxins that are easily retained include all prescription, over-the-counter and recreational drugs, along with toxic metals and toxic chemicals such as anesthesia drugs. Even apparent cigarette smoke contains cadmium and other toxic metals, and residues from contaminated work clothing are stored in the body for 20 or more years, especially if a person's health is impaired, as is often the case. Upon undertaking a nutritional balancing program, medications and other toxins from long ago will be eliminated. One may smell or taste them, or even experience their pharmacologic or toxic effects to a slight degree. This happens, at times, because, when liberated from storage tissues, they circulate in the blood a short while until they are excreted through the urine, bile or other routes. This can give rise to odd symptoms. For example, one may suddenly smell cigarettes, even though one has not been exposed to nicotine for years. One may experience a caffeine-like rush if a stimulant drug is released, or feel extremely tired if a sedative is released. Detoxification closely linked to anti-aging. Many people today are concerned about the problems of aging and how to delay aging. A way to view aging that is fairly accurate in many ways is that it is nothing more than an accumulation of toxins in the body. If one can reduce the toxicity of the body, indeed, aging will be delayed. This perspective offers a powerful method of prevention of aging through careful and cleaner dietary habits, breathing purer air, drinking purer water and reducing other exposures such as through contact with the skin or elsewhere in the body. It also offers a method to reverse aging through methods of healing that cause detoxification to proceed more rapidly and thoroughly. Yin and Yang detoxification. All methods of detoxification are either more yin in nature or more yang. This is a vital topic, though a bit esoteric. Before discussing it in depth, here is a brief background on this important healing factor and modality. What is yin and yang? These refer to specific qualities of life or physical existence on planet Earth. Yang is more male, contracted, hot, and centripetal in direction. Yin is more female, expanded, cool and centrifugal in direction. For example, a hot, dry desert climate is very yang, while a cool, damp one is more yin. Similarly, a healthy body should be slender, warm and athletic. This is a more yang condition, for both men and women. Why is the idea of yin and yang so important? The reasons include: health is more than just filling the body with nutrients and removing toxins. Most illness produces a colder, more expanded, much more in body. Certain infections such as fungal ones are far more in and cold than others such as bacterial infections that cause high fevers. In fact, yin is a disease in itself that is very common today. A better yin-yang balance greatly increases adaptive energy, restores negative feedback loops, restores some enzyme systems and greatly increases the energy efficiency of the body. True fast oxidizers, of which there are few today, are much more yang, while stress-fast oxidizers and slow oxidizers are more yin. Very slow oxidizers with low sodium/potassium ratios are extremely yin. This is just one reason why continuously balancing the oxidation rate is vitally important in nutritional balancing. Balancing yin and yang is also essential for mental or spiritual development. Most bodies are very yin today. The reasons for this include: poor overall health and fatigue are the most important factors. Higher levels of ionizing radiation in the air, food and water is another critical factor today. Toxic metals and most toxic chemicals are very in and prevalent in our bodies. Negative attitudes and victim thinking cause a person to be more in. Bodies filled with patent medicines and recreational drugs are far more in most cases. Electromagnetic fields from cell phones and computers have a very in effect. Diets of refined foods, vegetarian diets, eating fruits and sweets, using alcohol, and taking most medical drugs make people much more in. Healing methods must be adjusted to take into account the nature of most bodies today. Many healing methods, including vegetarian regimens, acupuncture, acupressure and others were developed at a time when the bodies were not exposed to as many toxins, refined food diets, medical drugs and radiation as they are today. Nutritional balancing, in contrast, is designed specifically for the challenges of the 21st century. Yin and Yang detoxification. In detoxification methods flush toxins with cool and watery energy. They work by slowing down an overheated metabolism and include raw food diets, fruit and juice fasts, and vegetarian diets. Other detoxification methods are high-dose, and most intravenous and oral supplement therapies, cold baths, some enemas, colonic irrigation, chelation drugs, some cleansing herbs and some acupuncture techniques. Most synthesized supplements and, in fact, all manufactured products such as tablets, powders and liquids are more in. Animal-based products tend to be much less in than synthesized or vegetable-based products, as a general rule. Yang detoxification methods heat, activate and contract the body to enhance toxin removal. These methods include more rest and sleep within limits, hot saunas, coffee enemas, infrared therapy, and hot baths. They also include diets with kelp, sea salt, cooked meats and vegetables, especially root vegetables. For a more yang diet, strictly avoid varying foods such as all sugars, fruit juices, most fruit and most uncooked fruits and vegetables. Balancing yin and yang is the reason that I recommend mainly cooked food and more meat. It is also why raw foods, most fruit or juices except some carrot juice, vegetarian diets, and nightshade and other vegetables that are really fruits are not recommended. It is also why Dr. Eck found that animal-derived glandulars and animal-based digestive products are important. It is also why some products such as calcium, magnesium and zinc are so important, as these are more yang than other elements. Many more details of the program involve the concept as well. Most doctors use detoxification methods without knowing it. These methods work to a degree, but yang methods are much safer and more effective in many cases today because the bodies are so in. For example, vegetarian diets and raw foods are not as helpful as they were 100 years ago, when many of the wonderful books about them were written. Similarly, most herbs are very in. This is due in part to their nature, and, in part, due to metal toxicity and other problems with them today. For this reason, herbal methods are not as safe or effective today as they were 100 years ago, when brilliant people such as Jethro Kloss, author of Back to Eden, wrote about them. Chelation therapy, bioidentical hormone therapy, some oxygen therapies and many others are also more in as well. It means there will often be side effects from them even if they are not obvious. More information about the yin-yang balance is in an article at www.lewilson.com entitled Yin and Yang Healing. Toxic metal removal often involves replacing them with upgraded or higher quality and preferred minerals. This is a somewhat esoteric topic, but a very important one. Some toxic metals are just occupying space in a body compartment or organ and need to be removed. However, many toxic metals are lodged in enzyme binding sites where they actually perform a function, albeit poorly. Removing the latter always requires replacing them with more modern, more physiological and what I call preferred minerals. This is sometimes called the concept of preferred minerals. It means that many enzymes and other body systems will function, to a degree, using toxic metals in critical enzyme binding sites. However, some minerals in these sites are preferred, and function much better. For example, zinc, selenium, chromium, magnesium and manganese are among the most preferred minerals in enzyme binding sites. Less preferred minerals might include lead, cadmium, nickel and aluminum. The implication of this concept is that one must never simply attempt to pull out toxic metals using powerful methods such as chelation. This tends not to work that well. One must always attempt to assess which preferred minerals are needed, and to supply them in bioavailable forms. This is not always easy. Simply administering a general mineral supplement, or adding minerals to an IV bottle containing a chelating agent is not sufficient in most cases. It is not exact enough and usually does not contain the required amount and type of minerals needed. Detoxification for genetic improvement. Born toxic or burnout babies. Almost children born today are deficient in zinc and many other micronutrients. They also have excessive levels of many toxic metals and many toxic chemicals. This is not an exaggeration. In fact, it is obvious from the hair mineral analyses of hundreds of babies, even when the baby has never ever touched regular food. All toxic metals and many toxic chemicals pass right through the placenta from mother to child during pregnancy. This is a major, and generally ignored, cause of autism, birth defects and many cases of delayed development as well. These are congenital imbalances, meaning present at birth but not caused by defective chromosomes or genes. Congenital mineral deficiencies and congenital metal toxicity should become household words because they are so important. When vaccinations, refined food diets, commercial formula and stress are added, many children simply cannot overcome the combination of these insults to their growing and fragile bodies. An entire volume could be written about congenital imbalances as revealed on hair mineral analysis. The news reports daily that a defective gene is the cause for many health conditions. Much less often reported is the fact that nutrients are required to activate genes, and that toxic metals and other toxins can all block genetic expression. Epigenetics is the study of the effect of the environment on genetics. It is the subject of an excellent book by Bruce Lipton, Ph.D., The Biology of Belief. He shows clearly that while genetics affects our bodies, environmental factors such as nutrition and environmental toxins affect the genes powerfully. Defective genetic expression is often the underlying cause of birth defects and many other genetic problems. These defects are called polymorphisms in the field of genetics. This is an important aspect of genetics that is almost totally ignored today. It helps explain why those with a genetic disorder such as Down syndrome can often be helped dramatically by nutritional balancing and other natural therapies. By improving the nutritional balance and biochemical vitality of the body, it offsets some of the genetic imbalances. Children with this disorder begin to learn faster and their distinct facial features even change back to normal to some degree. Mothers-to-be need assistance. Epigenetics and polymorphisms also help us understand why all teenagers, especially mothers-to-be, would be very wise to undergo a nutritional balancing program before becoming pregnant, or at the very least once they become pregnant. This would help replenish hundreds of nutrient compounds and reduce their body load of toxic metals and toxic chemicals greatly. This can undoubtedly help prevent birth defects, as well as make childbirth safer and reduce illnesses in their children. True prenatal care. Thus far, in all cases, when a pregnant mother follows a nutritional balancing program carefully, compared to their previous pregnancies, the pregnancies and the births have been easier, and the health of the babies far better than that of their previous children. I hope that our prenatal care system will change, as it is one of the worst features of modern medical care. It is simply too little, too late. It is just not enough to make sure a woman does not have diabetes or some other serious disease and then to hand her a simple diet sheet and prenatal vitamin that is often not correct for her body type or her needs. Prenatal care must begin earlier than when a woman becomes pregnant. This should be obvious. It takes several years, at least, to improve the health of young women. Ideally, it should begin when a girl is born because her future role as a mother is so critical for the future of society. However, at the very least it should begin at puberty by teaching girls, in particular, excellent eating habits, healthful lifestyles and how to care for themselves in every way. Today, in contrast, teenage girls and young women are allowed and often encouraged by the media and even parents and friends to eat junk foods day and night, much of which is nutritionally bankrupt and contains toxic chemical additives as well. Stay up late and indulge in other destructive habits such as smoking and drinking alcohol. Take dangerous medical drugs such as birth control pills, the patch and others. Adopt loose morals that cause sexually transmitted diseases in at least 25% of young women between the ages of 16 and 25. Some say that 90% of sexually active adults have STDs. Ignore nutritional testing before or when they become pregnant. Instead, pregnant women prescribed a vitamin tablet that is usually of mediocre quality and not based upon their individual needs. All pregnant women and their unborn children benefit greatly from a nutritional balancing program. Detoxification programs during pregnancy and lactation. Initially, I was skeptical about placing pregnant women on nutritional balancing programs. I wondered if the growing fetuses would be adversely affected. However, after almost 30 years of personal experience, as well as checking with other nutritional balancing practitioners, the programs are extremely safe. In fact, the safety record with nutritional balancing during pregnancy, to the best of my knowledge, has been 100%, provided the program is designed correctly and followed well. I have helped many pregnant ladies have much healthier pregnancies and healthier babies as well. Another benefit of nutritional balancing for pregnant and lactating mothers is it can improve the quality of their breast milk so that a baby will continue to want the milk for a longer period of time. Breastfeeding and detoxification. Nutritional balancing programs while breastfeeding are excellent, but require extra care in some cases. Occasionally, an infant will develop colic due to one of the supplements or due to the elimination of a toxin that may find its way into the breast milk. This can usually be avoided or mitigated by taking fewer supplement doses or just fewer products. The client may have to try each product one at a time to discover if one or another of them is causing a reaction in a breastfeeding child. Another idea is to take one's nutritional supplements soon after breastfeeding so the supplements will be thoroughly assimilated before the next breastfeeding. Rarely, a woman must discontinue her supplements while breastfeeding. Detoxification in infants and children. Children do exceedingly well with nutritional balancing programs. Young babies, for example, may need just 1 or 2 products, and few need more than 3 products. Doses must be adjusted based on a child's age and weight, although children can often take a little more than their weight or height would indicate. Children are generally less toxic than adults. For this reason, most do not require as much sauna therapy or coffee enemas unless quite ill. However, the number of sick children is growing quickly today. The causes include congenital and genetic problems coupled with the use of vaccines, medical drugs and even random vitamin and natural hormone treatments. Dr. Stephen Adelson, MD, author of Conquering Autism, placed children as young as 2 in saunas with no apparent difficulties. I don't recommend sauna therapy until at least age 5 or so. Younger children require much closer supervision for all detoxification procedures. Older children and teens benefit greatly from saunas for many reasons. The sauna clears their acne, making for a beautiful complexion. It also relaxes them and removes many toxins quickly. It also seems to enhance their emotional maturing process in some cases, especially a near-infrared light sauna rather than any other type of infrared or regular sauna. Cautions with detoxification in young children, in particular, are children growing fast. Never deprive them of protein, plenty of cooked vegetables, extra omega-3 fatty acids, iodine in the form of kelp or other source, and other essential foods. If they want to eat vegetables alone, cook them in soups, and give them about 2-10 ounces of carrot juice with a little spinach or other greens added. One can also put dressing on them made of plain yogurt, plain cheese, almond butter mixed with a little water, or simply put some butter and a little sea salt on them. They can also be given Veggies or Juice Plus, which are dried vegetables in a capsule. Green superfood powders are not as good because they must be mixed with something sweet in a smoothie. They form bad food combinations in most cases, and because, unlike capsules, they go rancid much faster. Be very careful with all herbal products, as children are much more sensitive to them than most adults. Too many doctors give babies or children adult doses of vitamins or worse, herbs, many of which contain small amounts of toxic metals. Nutritional balancing supplement programs from the computer at analytical research labs often need adjustments for children at this time, 2013. This is more advanced training and beyond the scope of this volume. Reasons for this are children's variable weight and height, as well as other considerations such as our child's health status and specific mineral patterns. Detoxification in older or very ill people. This arena also requires extra care. Older people have less ability to remove all toxins due to lower vitality and often due to a more sluggish oxidation rate. Therefore, use extra caution and go slowly and gently with them. Some older people are much more vital than others, so it must be handled individually. However, few people over the age of about 65 to 70 should be using the sauna more than once daily or doing coffee enemas more than one every day. Many do well on simpler supplement programs. Detoxification cautions. Avoid all fasts, especially any over about 2-3 days. These are quite unsafe, in my view. I worked as the medical director at a natural hygiene fasting spa for several years. I found that the bodies are so toxic, so in and so depleted today that books written about fasting 50 years ago, as most were, no longer apply. Clients who consult me after fasting are often more depleted and worse off than before the fast, although some symptoms may have improved. Avoid most herbs and herbal cleanses. Among products that can be somewhat toxic are cloves, wormwood, black walnut, yellow dock, bugleweed and other commonly used herbs. Even safe herbs may contain small amounts of toxic metals and other impurities that are hard to trace, but cause problems eventually if used continuously for more than a few weeks. Avoid putting salt of any kind into drinking water. This removes some toxins. However, it also unbalances the macrominerals and causes subtle mineral losses that may take months to notice and are difficult to correct. Cleansing diets and other cleanses. These are not needed with nutritional balancing and slow a person's progress in almost all cases. Fruit diets and juice fasts, for example, are okay for a few days, but are very incomplete and cause more nutritional deficiencies. They are also too similar to fasting, and they slow the metabolic rate in most cases. If you must do them, limit them to a few days at the most. Clay baths. Some doctors like these. However, clay is high in aluminum and other toxic metals. Once in a while they are fine and will pull certain toxins from the body. Definitely avoid long-term use and preferably use other methods. Ionic foot baths such as the Q2, Bia Cleanse and others are harmful and should be avoided altogether. They may be okay for those who are over 75, but no one else. They definitely remove some toxins, but also appear to cause subtle damage to the body's energy field. Alkaline water. Avoid all alkaline water. Symptomatic improvement may occur. However, 2 people have contacted me recently who have slowly developed severe metal poisoning from this type of water. Read Water for Drinking for more details on the problems with alkaline water. Swishing oil in the mouth. This Ayurvedic method was great when the world was not totally polluted, as it is today. It will do little for modern toxic mankind, as it is just not powerful enough. Detox foot pads from Japan. These are an older herbal detoxification method. They are fine, but not very powerful. Chelation. This has been discussed earlier. It is not needed and usually harmful in subtle ways. All chelators remove beneficial minerals along with toxic ones. There is never any need for a metal detox product or program if one is using nutritional balancing science, because all the toxic metals will gently be removed in a natural sequence without the problems these products can cause. Cautions concerning the detoxification aspect of nutritional balancing include: retracing and healing reactions will occur. If they do not, the program is not working correctly or the client is not following it well. However, they can be intense on occasion. Chapter 45 discusses this very important topic. Be gentle with children and older people in particular. Detoxification causes fatigue, emotional upset at times, and other difficult situations, particularly in those with impaired elimination, which is most people. It is like trying to flush poisons down the toilet, but the toilet is mostly clogged to begin with. Try to flush too much and it will back up and make a mess. Have patience and go slowly when necessary. Once the body is working better, then detoxification becomes much easier. Much more rest is critical. This is the single most important rule if you wish to derive the most benefit from a nutritional balancing program. Follow directions carefully. Many doctors and clients try to speed up their cleansing or healing process by altering the program. Preferably ask about this. Simple changes, such as adding detox products or skipping procedures, can easily ruin the program by unbalancing it in some subtle way. When a challenging healing reaction occurs, consult someone familiar with them. Most medical doctors do not understand them and may inadvertently make them worse rather than better. Practitioners must be available by telephone, usually, for this purpose. Healing reactions can mimic diseases, and vice versa. Most symptoms that arise during nutritional balancing programs are due to healing. In my experience, this is not the case with some other healing methods. At one time, I believed I was healing with a vegetarian regimen, until I realized that symptoms I was told were healing were, in fact, degeneration. Not only did I waste years on the program, but recovery took me over 10 years as well. This can be very confusing even for the most seasoned practitioner. Most reactions pass quickly. However, a few will be vigorous and occasionally may take several weeks or longer to resolve. For example, an old ear infection recently left me dizzy and nauseous for several weeks. A retest hair analysis may assist a practitioner to decide if a change in the regimen is needed, or if the symptoms are benign and nothing to worry about. This critical topic is discussed in the article entitled Retracing and Healing Reactions.